Welcome to the news at this hour on NTA International. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Compliments of the season. Now let's take the headlines. Federal Road Safety Corps applauds orderly conduct of motorists, emphasizes obedience to traffic regulations. Traditional media practitioners to embrace media convergence to remain relevant. Plus special focus on position of the law on convicted parliamentarians. Thank you so much for joining us. Christmas is generally linked to the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, while Boxing Day seems to have diverse meanings and interpretations across nations of the world. In this report, Oluseyi Adiagbo went on a fact-finding mission on what Boxing Day is all about, its religious perspectives and connotations.
Well, boxing, like this.
Yes, it is Boxing Day, and Awuyele Oluwaseun is expecting to see the exchange of blows. From all indications, the boxing gloves is still hanged up somewhere far away from this location. Now, what does Boxing Day mean to the door of Emmanuel Okabi and Favor
What do you understand
Esi?
about Boxing Day?
I don't know.
Well, I do not know much about Boxing Day, but in all, I just came here today to have fun.
Let's go back a bit to the history book. Every year, the 26th of December is observed the world over as the Boxing Day. Its origin is rooted in the British traditions, and in Ireland, the day is called St. Stephen's Day. History also has it that in the British Commonwealth, the servants of the wealthy families had to work on Christmas Day, and their services were usually rewarded with gift boxes that were only allowed to be opened the next day, which was an off work to spend time with their families. Here in Nigeria, the Boxing Day is usually a public holiday, and many, irrespective of the background, take advantage of the day to spend time with their loved ones. The resident imam of Nasfat Central Mosque Abuja, Ibrahim Akalambi, and chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria North Central, Israel Akonji, who both gave the Islamic and Christian perspective to Boxing Day, said the lessons of the season is of goodwill, fairness to all, and sustaining brotherly love.
Opening of gift itself is a task. Now the significance is just this: God so loved the world and He gave His Son to us, and we who have received this gift of God in His Son Jesus Christ are supposed to love God and love our neighbors.
Boxing Day does not mean only giving out this gift. It's telling us about the goodness, to be kind to the people.
They also admonished Nigerians to shun any act that can negate the peaceful coexistence, while encouraging citizens to embrace the spirit of patriotism to achieve the growth and advancement they desire. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adiagbo, NTA News.
Thank you so much for that report. And away from Boxing Day, it is now 4 months since the federal government closed Nigeria's land borders to combat massive smuggling activities and other illegal transport activities, undermining the economy and security of the country. How has the country fared since that decision? Victor Azu evaluates the effects of the closure on the petroleum sector.
In two separate arrests in May 2019, officers and men of the Nigerian Navy saved Nigeria tens of millions of naira. The first arrest of 5 Nigerians and 3 Ghanaians was for allegedly attempting to smuggle 105 drums of PMS from Nigeria to Cameroon, while the other nabbed 8 men trying to smuggle more than 200,000 litres of petroleum products valued at over 50 million naira out of Nigeria. The products were alleged to have been sourced from different parts of the oil-rich Niger Delta.
Illegal refining sites were destroyed by the operation, resulting in the arrest of 62 speedboats and 275 suspects for involvement in either crude oil theft or illegal bunkering.
Arrests like these notwithstanding, smugglers have remained largely undeterred in the apparent lucrative trade of cross-border fuel smuggling, owing to the obvious differential in petrol price between Nigeria and neighboring countries. After a series of unsuccessful engagements with officials of neighboring countries to check smuggling of petroleum products, the illegal activity persisted and even reached alarming dimensions.
Number of petrol stations that makes you wonder, too close to the borderline. Some of them, you see the discharge pump facing the other side. Doing what?
Reports from the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency reveals that Nigeria's fuel supply had dropped to an average of 48.54 million litres daily from 61 million litres before the closure of the borders.
There has been a downward trucking out of products from our depots. What we have seen before the border closure on the 20th of August was a truck out of about 55 million litres a day. And now we are looking at about 51 million litres a day.
However, with pressure mounting from neighboring countries for Nigeria to reconsider, how long more can the border closure be sustained? Yet, more importantly, how much more can the gains of the ongoing border closure be sustained? In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
A report from Calabar says this year's Christmas is completely different from various previous seasons when people were thrown into untold hardship due to fuel scarcity. Morinleo Ajom reports that both major and independent marketers have enough products to dispense to the public.
A ride round the city of Calabar showed that petroleum products were readily available and dispensed at the approved pump price of 145 naira.
We know that we have action president in this country. 2016 we have issue of petrol in Cross River State. But this 2019, in this December, he tried too much.
Government have tried on a very serious note. There is no, fuel panic, buying anywhere.
The stability in price and availability of petroleum products all year round, the people say, is not unconnected with the strategic measures and policy of the President Buhari administration.
This is the first time in Nigeria now, since 1999. that we are having something like this.
With the closure of the borders, it makes it difficult for them to, leave some of the fuels outside, in the night.
Security is another area the people want the government to prioritize. In Calabar, Morinleo Ajom, NTA News.
Still on fuel distribution, fuel consumers and other stakeholders in Jigawa State have acknowledged and attributed the availability of premium motor spirit to the robust plan taken by the federal government to ensure steady supply and distribution of the product across the country during and beyond the Yuletide. Bashir Ibrahim Natbaba, who went round, did say the Jigawa State capital was at filling stations in the outskirts to assess the situation. Reports that the long queues which characterized the festive season in the last 5 years is now history.
It is a sigh of relief for motorists and fuel consumers in Jigawa State as they celebrate this year's Christmas without the acute fuel shortage associated with the season in the past. This is on the heels of supply and distribution of 37 trucks loaded with varying contents of the premium motor spirit to filling stations from Monday to Tuesday, and a substantial allocation for Wednesday alone, coupled with its availability even before the Christmas period. A cross-section of motorists and consumers say this time around they have access to the commodity with ease.
This year, I can say we have seen a major change because this December it seems to be I'm the first individual on this fuel pump head, so actually there is change.
There are improvements because most of the stations used to be locked during festive period, and the town is slow. But I'm surprised this festive period everybody's out to make his business. That is a very good thing.
It's the measure taken by the government to make sure of the availability of the product everywhere in the country.
In order to sustain the feat beyond the festive season, it behoves on the dealers and marketers to continue to play complementary roles by desisting from sharp practices capable of short-changing Nigerians. As usual, the mood of Jigawa State is generally peaceful this Christmas, as the citizens were seen going about their legitimate businesses. From Dutse, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
Let's now talk road safety. After a critical review of the first phase of the 2019 special end-of-the-year patrols, the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dr. Boboye Oyemi, calls on the motoring public to sustain their obedience to traffic rules and regulations as the second phase of the exercise commences in earnest. The Corps Marshal also commended the Corps across the country for demonstrating absolute commitment, professionalism and innovativeness in managing the massive traffic movement recorded before the Christmas celebration. According to him, the fact that traffic movements were orderly in most parts of the dreaded points across the Federation towards the Christmas day and no reported cases of commuters sleeping on the road till the following day were reported is a positive development. Oyemi particularly urged those leading convoy vehicles to show greater restraint while passing through congested and built-up areas to avoid disorderliness that could result to traffic chaos, and expressed gratitude to other security agencies for collaborating with the Corps in ensuring orderliness and security in challenging areas across the country. And out to security, the Presidential Order 5 aimed at promoting indigenous technologies and local content seems to be most beneficial to the military. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa highlights some of the milestones so far recorded in this regard.
Globally, militaries are partly rated based on their ability to develop or acquire their needed hardwares to prosecute operations. In view of the nation's emerging security challenge, capital-intensive nature of the arsenal, and in line with federal government's local content policy, the Nigerian Army commenced massive research and development of needed hard and softwares to cut down cartel fight. This locally produced mine-resistant ambush-protected MRAP vehicle, nicknamed Eziogu, is a product of collaboration between Defense Industry Corporation (DICON) and the Nigerian Army.
The presidential directive was to evolve a professional, well-respected, highly motivated and people-centric Nigerian Army that will have the requisite capability and capacity to respond adequately in a timely manner to solve the myriad of contemporary and future security threats.
With customized reinforced suspension system, off-road capacity suitable for the northeast difficult terrain, the combat vehicle is produced from a high-grade ballistic material.
The Eziogu MRAP is so cheap, equivalent of about 10 imported ones, and is very effective.
Not only creating employment for the people, because I understand it's 100% locally manufactured. So that gives jobs to our youths, engineers and the like.
While in the engineering depot Kaduna, I was opportune to meet an ongoing upgrade of a locally fabricated helicopter by the depot.
So this helicopter was in Mogonu, but we have upgraded by improving on the capacity of the engine, and we have also been able to now purchase the swash plate, part of the pitch link and the rotor, which we are now trying to install on the helicopter so as to further continue with our research and development of the helicopter.
These developments are fast-tracking ongoing internal security operations and the nation's military-industrial complex. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And from security, we now move to the judiciary. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos recently convicted the former governor of Abia State and chief whip of the Senate, Orji Uzor-Kalu. He is currently serving 12 years prison term as handed down by the court at the Kirikiri Correctional Facility in Lagos. What is the position of the law on a member of the Senate, now an ex-convict? Dele Atumbi of our judiciary desk provides answer to this question.
1999 Constitution under Section 308 grants immunity to the President, Vice President, governors and their deputies from criminal prosecution. However, members of the National Assembly are not exempted from criminal prosecution while in office.
The Constitution has provided under Section 66 that if somebody has been convicted for financial misconduct, he is not qualified.
The 1999 Constitution as amended further envisages that an elected officer is subject to the rule of law. This was provided for under Section 68, subsection 1b of the Constitution. Flowing from the Constitution, what happens to the seat of a parliamentarian that is convicted, as in the case of Joshua Darie, a member of the 8th Senate, and recently the former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, who is the chief whip of the 9th Senate.
So once he files an appeal, he will remain a member of the National Assembly until the appeal is determined.
Now, he is still a member until the period within which he should appeal to the Court of Appeal would have lapsed.
The lacuna created by the absence of a parliamentarian voted by his people to represent their interests and expected to meet the mandatory 1/3 sitting obligation needs to be attended to. Therefore, can a convicted parliamentarian still discharge these constitutional duties while serving a prison term in a correctional service facility?
People deserve effective representation. For me, at that point, if the sentence and the jail term is long enough to emasculate effective representation, then that senator should automatically lose his seat.
This is the final arbiter on this matter. If this court upholds the decision of the trial court after its appeal at the appellate court, in line with Section 68B of the 1999 Constitution as amended, Orji Uzor Kalu automatically loses his seat as a senator. However, if the apex court pronounces otherwise, he maintains his seat. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
You're still watching the news on NTA International, reaching you live from Abuja. Let's take a breather now. More reports ahead when we return. Stay with us.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka, no panic.
Can say me no panic.
You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK.
Press OK.
Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK.
Yeah, press OK. Wow, now you self fit catch all those channels will be one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your group for no loss. You see as I do, Abi? And I see as I do,
Go TV, live it, love it.
And I see as we do,
Thanks for staying with us. With the constant increase of internet and mobile phone users, the traditional media must embrace the new media, otherwise known as media convergence, for it to maintain relevance. This was the main thrust of a 3-week seminar for media practitioners in Nigeria, organized by the Training Institute of the National Radio and Television Administration, China. Herman Jabani reports.
The electronic highway of information that is besieging the world has brought an end to an old era of information dissemination, which is transforming from a turnstone-away world to a click-away world. The traditional media is suffering loss of audience, revenue, and relevance, and this is why this seminar, put together by the Training Institute of National Radio and Television Administration, China, is aimed at boosting knowledge of media convergence of the traditional media in Nigeria, as well as strengthen China-Nigeria relations. Experts in the industry say media convergence is the merging of mass communication outlets, print, television, radio, and the internet, alongside portable and interactive technologies to various digital media platforms.
In this era, everyone can use their mobile phones and use their microphones online. Everyone can be the journalist. We cannot control all of the quality of the information or reports they have published.
The fallout now is for the traditional media to key into and also accommodate the cost of providing services, content, and technological development.
You have content on one side, and then you have technology on the other. So both converge to drive news.
You not only do your newspaper, you're doing social media, that is, you're streaming, you're doing news, less than 30 second news that you put online as the news is breaking, you stream it live,
Media convergence, it is the blending of multiple media forms into one platform for the purpose of delivering a dynamic and faster experience of content and information to the audience. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
And for happenings in the financial sector, let's now join Onenge Fineface.
Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Abdul Rashid Nahala, says Nigeria's industrial revolution needs technological backing to thrive. He said technology is essential in the drive to revolutionize the agricultural sector of the nation's economy.
You can never go wrong with technology. Technology does not just make things easy in terms of production, but it's also able to multiply so many levels. So we're hoping that technology in agriculture will lead to what we always need in this country, which is agri-mechanization. In terms not only of production, but in terms of storage, in terms of processing.
Away from agriculture, bank customers carried out a total of 97.32 trillion naira worth of financial transactions on the instant payment and point of sale platform between January and November this year. Data from the Nigerian Interbank Settlement Scheme shows that customers carried out a total of 94.49 trillion naira worth of financial transactions on the instant payments platform and 2.832 trillion naira transactions with POS payments in the 11-month period. The volume of instant payment deals increased by 58% in the 11-month period of 2019, compared with 645.52 million transactions recorded in the corresponding period in 2018. For the POS payments, the NIBSS reported 392.48 volume of deals, amounting to 55% increase above the 253.96 million deals reported in the corresponding period of 2018. That's business news. Thanks for your time. I'm Onengiye Fineface.
Thank you, Onengiye. And Obiageli Ugwoke has trending stories in the foreign scene.
Suspected militants have killed